when Bitcoin rallies, if it surges to 500,000 or $1 million, then maybe we could talk about it crashing down by $200,000 a coin. But at the current price levels, it only takes $50 million to turn the entire drive shaft of the crypto economy one turn. And you've got the Trump media organization announcing
Right.
$2.5 billion. You've got GameStop announcing 500 million. You've got my company that's raising billions and billions of dollars. So the writing is on the wall. Bitcoin's moving higher.
Bitcoin winter is over and will never happen again, at least according to Michael Saylor in his newest interview to date. You won't believe what Michael Saylor has to say on AI, quantum computing, and JP Morgan finally getting involved. Smash the like button, subscribe to Altcoin Daily. We post one video every day, keeping you informed on everything crypto. Bitcoin's move from 110 to 130. This will happen quickly. Don't believe me? Over the next 8 minutes, everything will be revealed to you, so make sure you watch the whole video today. Reminder, you can make money in crypto whether the market is going up or down by trading. BitUnex is a crypto exchange I like. Buy, sell, and trade cryptocurrency here, long or short crypto, no KYC. Use code Altcoin Daily for up to $8,000 immediately in trading bonuses. Also, big trading competition going on right now. Somebody from our audience will win tens of thousands of dollars. Sign up and participate for a chance to win big money. The only way you can win this is if you sign up, and there'll be other competitions like this in the future. Before we get to Saylor, breaking news, Trump's CFTC chair pick is about to be confirmed, and just like the already confirmed SEC chair Paul Atkins, this guy is very pro-crypto.
I view blockchain as a horizontal technology that has the potential to touch every aspect of society, not just as a vertical technology purely focused on financial services.
Also, the White House crypto director, Bo Hines, says get ready. The White House will soon be making an announcement about their next specific plans to accumulate more Bitcoin. He says, I think Bitcoiners will be extremely pleased.
We have to harness this asset class for the American people, and there's certainly going to be countries overseas that are racing to accumulate as much as they can. And I've had this question asked to me repeatedly by journalists, like, how much do you want? I'm like, it's the silliest question of all time. And lo and behold, I get asked that question.
I was going to ask. No, I'm kidding.
No, I mean, I will say very clearly, we want as much Bitcoin as we can possibly get. We have to do this in budget neutral ways that don't cost a taxpayer a dime, but there are countless ways in which we can do it. And if you read the fine print of the executive order, it kicks these innovative ideas over to Commerce and Treasury to come up with, but we'll flesh these out amongst our working group actors. We will move expeditiously on those that can be quickly implemented. But it's not one size fits all. It's not like we have to do this in one singular format. There can be hundreds of different ways we do this, if not thousands. And so we talked about this in different verticals, whether it be like through mining activity, whether it be through bit bonds. I mean, there's tons of creative things we can do.
Collect taxes in Bitcoin.
Yeah, I mean,
Bitcoin.
it's endless. And so people ask me to give like clear examples. And the reason I don't want to tell you what we're going to do first yet is because I really don't want to poison the well. We want to do something that's going to be the most effective for the United States. And so when we're ready to announce that, which I'm sure we will be in short order, I think that this community will be extremely pleased.
Think about everything happening with Bitcoin nowadays, guys. There is an extreme supply and demand effect happening and continuing to happen. The ETFs are buying up more Bitcoin than can be produced. BlackRock is buying up more Bitcoin than can be produced. The other ETFs are buying up more Bitcoin than can be produced. Sovereign wealth and nation states are just beginning to get involved and buying more Bitcoin than can be produced. Not to mention, we're seeing so many public companies now implementing the exact same strategy Saylor is, buying more Bitcoin than can be produced. All of this and more leading Michael Saylor to say, Bitcoin winter isn't coming back. We're past that phase. Bitcoin is going to $1 million, and you have all the evidence you need to determine that yourself. Do you agree with this?
Michael, nobody has to explain the rapid rise in Bitcoin to me. I started buying Bitcoins at $800. I bought one as low as $600, but I spent them, unfortunately. How do you expect the asset to continue a price increase at these levels that we've seen? I mean, can it keep that up over the next 5 years, over the next 10 years? And at what point do we see, winter coming again? Because that's been a permanent fixture of this asset class, right? It's gone from 0 or 1,000 to 20, and then back down to 3 or 4, and then up to 50, and then back down to 15, and now up to 110. Like, when does it drop again?
Winter's not coming back. We're past that. We're past that phase. If Bitcoin's not going to 0, it's going to $1 million. And you have all the evidence you need to determine that, right? The President of the United States has determined he supports Bitcoin. The cabinet supports Bitcoin. Scott Bessent supports Bitcoin. Paul Atkins has shown himself to be an enthusiastic believer of Bitcoin and digital assets. Quintez at CFTC feels the same way. The banks are going to custody Bitcoin. Bitcoin has gotten through its riskiest period. The accounting has been corrected. There's now only 450 Bitcoin a day available for sale by natural sellers. That's the miners. At this level, that works out to about $50 million of Bitcoin available for sale every day. If that $50 million is bought, then the price has got to move up to find any seller that's price sensitive. Now, if you do the math, you'll actually see the Bitcoin treasury companies by themselves are buying the entire natural supply.
Yeah. BlackRock
and the ETFs are buying another measure of that. And we've got nation state actors coming into the space. So I think when Bitcoin rallies, if it surges to 500,000 or $1 million, then maybe we could talk about it crashing down by $200,000 a coin. But at the current price levels, it only takes $50 million to turn the entire drive shaft of the crypto economy one turn. And you've got the Trump media organization announcing $2.5 billion. You've got GameStop announcing $500 million. You've got my company that's raising billions and billions of dollars. So the writing is on the wall. Bitcoin's moving higher.
Smash the like button if you're getting value in today's video. I actually sent this video to my friends and family. I know a lot of people who are really bullish on AI, and for good reason. But what most people don't get is that the bigger that AI gets, the bigger Bitcoin gets. Listen to Michael Saylor here.
I feel like AI could, everyone's worried that AI may turn on us, and this could be a way in which AI has real power. Is that not the kind of thing that keeps you up at night?
I'll make a point here. The typical person might do 10,000 transactions in their lifetime, maybe 100,000 if they're very busy. The AIs are going to do 100,000 transactions a minute. They're not going to suffer the existing credit systems and the existing banking systems of the 20th century. They're going to want to move digital money at high frequency at the speed of light. That means digital assets like Bitcoin over the Lightning Network or via layer 3 protocols. The demand for digital capital, which is what Bitcoin is, and digital networks like Lightning and like all of the crypto protocols that are being worked on right now, it's going to go through the roof. So I think AI is really a demand driver for Bitcoin. It's going to accelerate the entire digital assets economy. And no, I'm not worried about the threat. The AIs can't crack, public-private key cryptography. What they can do is imitate you and talk you into doing something stupid if you're listening to them. And so they're a threat to all the other systems in the world, not to Bitcoin.
And then I actually sent this one to my friends and family too. Sometimes I send them a lot of videos because so many people ask me about quantum computing and Bitcoin all the time. Michael Saylor, out of everybody, truly needs to get quantum computing figured out because he owns 3% of the supply. So when he says in this clip, I don't worry about quantum computing cracking Bitcoin, here's why. Well, this is extremely eye-opening. This makes me bullish.
At least in the top 5 most important characteristics of Bitcoin is its security, right? I mean, scarcity has to be one near the top, and the ledger obviously was a genius move by Satoshi, but it seems to be uncrackable. And I'm wondering if that will hold true far into the future with the development of quantum computing. Do you worry about that?
I don't worry about it. And I make the point, Microsoft and Google market their quantum projects, but they would never sell a quantum computer that cracked cryptography because it would destroy their own companies. And there isn't a practical use case for those quantum projects they've been marketing. I think at some point, a decade out, maybe 10, 20 years, maybe whenever, there'll be a powerful computer. It may start to threaten modern cryptography. When it does it, it'll be a threat to Microsoft, Google, JP Morgan, the US government. It may be a threat to Bitcoin. When it is a threat, all of these organizations are going to upgrade their crypto protocols to be quantum resistant. You'll see it coming a mile away, and every other digital entity in the world is more vulnerable to that idea or that threat than Bitcoin. And so they're all going to upgrade, and we'll be talking about it while you're reviewing Microsoft stock or Apple stock exposure.
Finally, Michael Saylor is asked about the biggest bank on the planet, JP Morgan, getting involved. It's happening slowly, but it does seem to be happening. JP Morgan is one of the biggest banks in the world. Do you think Michael Saylor is worried? Subscribe to Altcoin Daily, join our team, long or short the market on BitUnex. This is one of my favorite crypto exchanges for trading. Claim $8,000 in bonuses with our link. Michael Saylor finally reveals his thoughts on JP Morgan and Jamie Dimon getting involved with Bitcoin. Listen to this.
You're doing a lot more than just holding the Bitcoin, so it's, I think, unfair to compare you to an ETF, but it sounds like you may be inviting competition from a JP Morgan, for example, which then makes me wonder, when does this asset start to convince the naysayers? You know, Jamie Dimon has famously said it's worthless. Warren Buffett has called it probably rat poison squared. When does it win those people over?
People called electricity worthless and aircraft worthless too when they didn't understand them. So I welcome the competition from JP Morgan. I hope they enter the space. Our advantage is that we're 100% Bitcoin. So whenever we create a preferred stock, it has the Bitcoin performance, and it has a measure of Bitcoin performance and a fraction of Bitcoin volatility. That allows us to issue the most liquid preferred stocks in the world at the highest performance. Strike was up 29% when the rest of the market of preferreds was down 6%. Strife was up 22% when the rest of the market was down 4.6%. It's impossible to issue Bitcoin-backed convertible preferreds and Bitcoin-backed fixed preferreds unless you're willing to make 100% of your balance sheet Bitcoin. So I'm not really worried about competition from JP Morgan or Berkshire Hathaway. I would love for them to enter the Bitcoin space, buy up a bunch of Bitcoin. When they do it, they'll be paying $1 million of Bitcoin. The price will go to the moon. That will be good for the entire crypto economy and beneficial to everyone that holds any BTC-backed equity or credit-based instrument.